Should I?
There we are. We're good.
Yeah.
We're started now. We're doing the podcast. Surprise if you press play and you started watching us. So, which fight really stood out to you? This card was kind of, I don't know, man. I wasn't super excited about it. I'll definitely go over it. What was your takeaway from this card?
It was an unbelievable card.
See, I don't know why I was like, uh, I
It
think
was.
the Neil Magny fight had me kind of like the two guys were muting each
I,
other out.
I tuned off on that one. I didn't really watch that one. But the Allen fight. That guy is Brent. Was it Brendan Allen?
Brendan
He's
Allen.
something. He's somebody to watch out for, man. That guy. He's pretty solid everywhere. I was very impressed with him. There was just a lot of things in there that happened. The heavyweight fight where that poor guy got poked in the eyes. Uh, you
Yeah, he
know,
just like got like pronged,
yeah,
like
yeah,
deep dig right to the eyeball.
yeah. That
That
was
was
bad. I mean, that was real bad, and that was pretty. I don't know. It's like sad to see because you wanted these guys to perform and they wanted to perform, and the guy that got the eye poked, he wanted to continue. He didn't want to stop,
but he
and he
couldn't
didn't want to
see,
end
and
like
he
that.
admitted
No,
it. He wasn't gonna lie.
no, he couldn't. There was just some really good fights, man. Just really good fights. The Macy Barber fight.
Macy Barber was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
oh, that was a great fight. That was back and forth, back and forth. I
It looked
mean,
like she was getting taken in the beginning, and then she rallied towards the end to just pull off a gnarly victory. Just overpowered the other gal. She did
well,
amazing.
it's kind of like what they're talking about, right? The Uriah favorite camp. They favor position over submission. Before they do anything, and that's what they were doing. They were getting good positions. They weren't trying for any submissions. They weren't trying for anything fancy, and they did an unbelievable job. It was really good. And then the other fighter, the other featherweight fight that was on there. That was a great fight, and dude, that was like, what do you call it? Was getting beat. The guy from Africa, who came down here when he was, I guess, 6 years old. I mean, he was in the fight the whole way through. He's fighting submission after submission. The guy from Brazil, he came in, from having a great fight before that, lost a split decision, and it looked like he was on route to a potential win, first win, and man, that guy pulled it out, knocked him out at the end there with a beautiful uppercut that led to following punches. But that was a very fun fight, man. Very fun fight. I mean, it wasn't a star-studded type of event, but it was star performance. It was a star
Well,
performance.
you got to give people a chance to fight so they can work their way up and become that headline shot. And this is the only way you're going to do it.
It
You
was a
can't
star
tell every
performance. No, it
yeah.
was a star performance. It was a very good fight. The main event capped off an incredible fight, the ones you rarely see. Even though it was a one-sided fight, it was not a one-sided viewing because you could see Emmett had an opportunity to win every single minute of the fight, every second. It
Any
looked like
minute he could
Emmett,
come
yeah,
back. He
he
could
can
come
come
back with
back.
yeah.
And he never stopped trying. He never stopped trying, and he kept pushing, throwing haymakers. And Topuria, I'm a big fan of his now. Wow, what a
Elia.
professional. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was rolling his shoulders over perfectly. He wasn't wasting too many shots. He wasn't in no hurry. He's got great ground. He's got the whole everything, and he's young. He's young. He's got everything. He's got the whole ball of wax. That guy is a definite future champion. If not, probably could win the title now. It's very possible. He's that good. He is that good. So I would hope that the UFC would give him the next title shot after what happens. If Alex wins, I would hope they give him the next shot. If Alex loses, then logically speaking, because Alex is such a great fighter, and depending on how the fight ended, they'll probably give Alex a rematch if Yair beats him. But if he doesn't lose to Yair, I think that Topuria should get the title shot. He deserves it, and he did a star performance, and people will be
14 and
behind it.
0. He's
People
14
will
and
be
0.
behind it. People will be behind it. Two power punchers, both very smart, and I think hey, that's a fight, man. That's a fight. I want to see Alex and him go anyways, regardless. That's a hell of a fight. That guy can fight. I was very impressed with him. Very impressed.
Well, this guy is on a 14 fight win streak, 14-0. Alaya is.
Yeah, 12 stoppages, four knockouts and eight submissions. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He can wrestle. I mean, he's got smart IQ. I mean, God, this guy's got everything. He can trash talk too. He's the, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one that went after Patty the Batty. They were having a little discussion, him and Patty the Batty. I'm not sure if it
Oh
was him.
yeah, it was at like a press meeting or something. It's like get off
Yeah,
your high horse, basically.
yeah, and yeah, it's probably good that Patty didn't decide not to fight him. it wouldn't have gone good. It wouldn't have gone too well for him. I don't think that guy is just too solid of a fighter all the way around. Rarely ever do you see fighters this young, this well skilled in all areas, and this guy, I was very impressed, man. Extremely impressed. Extremely. He's gonna be a very difficult person for anybody to beat. He's very difficult because he's so well rounded everywhere, and his boxing is very tight. I don't know if you pick up what he was doing, but he was catching a lot of the punches on his arms and whatnot. And yeah, he countered really well. He throws a beautiful left hook, power left hook. He doesn't. His left hook comes from the bottom. It doesn't go up like this and go. It's from the bottom through, and that's like a shovel hook in a way. If you want to think about that, it's an incredible punch. Alex Pereira does it too. That's what he caught Izzy with. That same kind of hook. It's a very powerful hook. Most people get caught with those kind of hooks that clean. They usually get damaged pretty well, or they'll go down and out. And every time I see that hook land, it's like devastating.
Have you been tuning into the PFL?
A little bit. I not much because it was on yesterday. I didn't really watch it, but they're making big steam, man. They're making a lot of noise. What are they potentially buying Bellator? I guess
That keeps
I'm not
that keeps
sure.
popping up here and there. People keep bringing that up in articles. It's kind of like let's see. That would be pretty wild. I mean, they
Well,
just had good.
one thing we do know is Viacom is selling some of their assets because they're not doing so well. Some of their other shows aren't doing so well. So I do know that. I think we as a public know that. So being Bellator is one of the more successful products that they have. I would imagine it's for sale, right?
Yeah, it's interesting how the future of media is going to be. I mean, television, Hollywood, podcast versus radio. It's like the bigger of a thing that you need to operate, like have a huge studio, the more production, it's getting the return on investment isn't what it used to be. So it's pretty interesting. That's why a lot of people are going to podcasts. You don't need a big radio studio. I just send you an email. That's how it works.
Yeah. I watched that guy, Mr. Beast, and I can't stay watching him. I know he has a
Mhm.
lot of subscribers, but it's like giving everything away and this and that, and I I don't know. I don't. I'm a fan of what he's done, but I'm not a fan of their
It's not
skits.
it's not your it's not your specific
No,
interest. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed by what he's done. I think is amazing, but the content and everything they have, it's just I don't know, too kiddie show for me. I guess.
Well, I think that's probably the base of his following. Early young demographics, who watches us. There's some youngsters that love fighting. There's people from 18 all the way up to 60 that watch us. So, but I would guess that his people lean younger a lot more.
Probably, yeah, probably, yeah. It
So
would
the
make
seeing
sense.
how's
That
Umar's
would
training
make
going?
great. He's doing great. Tahir just got in last week, and he started training with him, and we should get Islam Mavadov. I get him in a few weeks. He's fighting too on the Bellator with Enrique Barzola. So on the August 11th, so I got them. I got Barzola and Mavadov Islam on the 11th. After. So we've got some fights happening, but Umar's looking good, really good. Corey Sandhagen and him is going to be. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it'll be a great fight. It's going to be a fight that is going to be fought in all areas. I don't see it being a wrestler versus striker, I see everything because Umar can strike with anybody. He can strike with Corey, so it's not an issue striking with him. It's a matter of what Umar chooses to do and what the game plan will be between myself and Habib and Umar. Because Habib is still does what he's always done. You know, he may not be there personally, but he's over the phone. He's talking to him. He's looking at a video. We're sending a video to look at. So for those people that keep asking, if Habib ever shows up in the corner, fantastic. But he's still doing everything he's always done, so that's fantastic. So I still have him. I just don't have that presence in the corner first. So we shouldn't talk about that anymore because it's done, right? It's like this is what it is. If he comes back one day, oh great. But right now he's made up his mind that he'll be coaching and spending time with his family, which is the most important thing. So he's doing that. But I'll have his brother Usman. Usman will be coming down and he'll be helping me in the corner with his brother, and that's a great combo to have two brothers that they help each other really well. It's great motivator to have your brother, your younger brother, be in the corner, and who happens to be the best in Bellator, who happens to be one of the best in the world. It's pretty cool. Usman is
Usman and Umar are brothers. Yet,
yes,
but when they say brother, but by birth, they are cousins, first cousins to Habib. Correct? Is that how that all
they're
works?
first. Yeah, they're first cousins. Yeah. They're Habib's father's brothers are Umar and Usman's father.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. So you've
yeah.
been
So
missing.
they're
You've been missing Usman. You don't get to see. You get put off so much time. You don't get to hang out with Islam for a while. They put him like a deep freeze until Abu Dhabi, basically.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Time will tell when we go, but I don't know when Usman's fighting either. So we gotta prepare for Islam's fight in Abu Dhabi, and then we gotta prepare for Usman's fight, and we don't have a date yet. There's no date, so I don't know where we're gonna fight. So it's all gonna depend on where Usman fights, because ideally I'd like for all of us to be together. I'd like for Usman and Islam to be in the same training camp, because that'll be great. And we'll probably get Moblin too. Hopefully, I don't know when Moblin's next outing will be for the PFL, but hopefully it kind of fits perfect, right? So we can have great, three champions, basically. They're all more training together. Moblin was the former PFL champion who didn't lose the title. He just didn't fight because of injury in 2022, but he's on track to winning the title. He had a star performance on his last outing. What a performance he had! Oh my gosh, that was Moblin was unbelievable. He did I don't know how much
You
better
get that guy out of
performance you
there
can get.
quick. Yeah.
It was a great performance, man. It was just unbelievable. Moblin did everything right, and yeah. So it'll be nice to have all three of them work with each other.
Any new guys coming on board?
Well, there's always Team Habib's always got somebody. Amaru is the next big thing from them over there, and for us, I have some that are on the way up. Daniel Allen, I got Mo Alarak, I got Mark Climaco, and I got Theo Haig and Bellator. Those are four guys to watch out for. Those guys are definitely guys to watch out for. All between all those guys' records. All combined, there's only one loss, and that's Mark Climaco's the only one that took a L. Everybody else is, winning.
What a report card. Just straight A's with you, Hav. Straight A's
Yeah,
out of AKA. You're like, how many of you guys lost? Well, we haven't. Oh. Nobody knows what to say to that. You don't hear that in football or basketball. That's
well,
pretty amazing.
a lot of it has to do with basically, just matchmaking and game planning, and athletes. There's a lot of variables involved. It's not just one thing or another. And like people say it all the time, just because A beats C, it doesn't mean that because B beat A that B is going to beat C. B may lose to C because there's different set of skill sets, and things. This game changes so much. It's not a science just yet. And boxing is a science, right? Because everybody's pretty much on board with the same thing, and they're pretty
Mm-hmm.
well skilled. And where MMA, no, it's not quite a science yet. It's right game plan, because some people don't have great wrestling, some people don't have great jiu-jitsu, some people don't have great boxing, some people don't have great Thai boxing. So there's some holes in a lot of fighters, but there's less holes now with the emergence of everybody seeing what's working and what's not, right? And if you notice in the last fights now, calf kicking has become a big norm. And then did you see the fight today with the calf kicking?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that guy? That guy was unbelievable. That he's like what was he 18 fights in a row now? He's won. He who is he from? I don't. The blonde guy. He was killing the guy with the leg kicks, and he broke his toe because the guy went up against the cage and he kind of squared up, which was very difficult, to kick him. And I was thinking, damn, he can break his toe, or not break his toe, but hurt his foot on the cage, right, by kicking the cage because the way he was lined up. And sure enough, I missed the part, but they said he hurt his toe. So I don't know if it was during those scrimmages, but that guy's a beast, man. That is a beast. What was his name? Do you know his name?
Not off the top. That was an earlier fight, right? Where is this
Yeah,
prelims?
it was.
Prelims.
Yeah, it
So
was.
I missed the prelims, so I didn't get that one.
Man, that guy was
Was it
unbelievable.
Bruno Miranda or?
No, no, it wasn't Miranda. No, it was.
Oh, wait a second. I'm looking at the wrong card. My bad. Let me take a
The,
look.
the Miranda was with Brandon Allen, I believe. That was that
No,
was.
Miranda was that was PFL. I was mixing it up. By
Oh,
PFL.
okay.
Yeah, I
But I
can't.
know.
Jeez. Yeah, it's not showing me the faces of the fighters here like it does on the other card. I don't know why, but let me see.
I
Yeah.
think the last fighter was with the B. B. The guy
Okay.
that lost was with the B. The guy that won name was with the S.
Okay. BS.
Yeah, BS.
That's what we're slinging right now.
Yeah, we're slinging BS.
Quick one though. There's a new retirement plan out there for MMA fighters. Apparently, Mark Coleman's coming back in his 50s to box. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. Mark Coleman is an inspiration for a lot of people. I follow him on Instagram. I love his Instagram posts.
Lost some weight.
He's lost an incredible amount of weight, and he's just motivated. And it's just a feel good story. His story, his line. Being clean and sober for all these years, and keep pushing that. I'm clean, I'm sober. So for a lot of people that are struggling, with what he struggled with. He's a success story. Follow what this guy's done. He was one of the first earlier, UFC champions that destroyed everybody, and then he fell on bad times, and then he went to the alcohol, and he struggled for a bit, but now
A
he's
lot of
clean and
probably
sober.
injuries
Yeah,
and everything that
yeah,
comes with the
yeah.
sport happens to a lot of
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, he's a warrior. I have the utmost respect for that guy, what he's done, and the no shame, taking his shirt off, he's heavy as crap, and he's like, woo. I'm like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with him.
Yeah, I've
He's
got
got
nothing to talk smack about on that guy. I'm
no,
impressed myself.
no,
He's like
no.
the
That's my.
inspiration to you and me. We're like, Mark Coleman, that's what we need to model
Yeah,
ourselves after.
I would love for him to be successful in his endeavor. I think he's a great guy, and I think he's good for the people to watch. He's a good inspiration. He's a good motivator, and he's a good guy to root for. And I'd like to see him be successful. I would not want to see him get hurt. So hopefully, whoever he fights, it's a good matchup for him. But I applaud him 100%.
Yeah, that was one thing that was going on, and then there's all the boxing coming up. You've got Jake Paul that's going to be facing Nate Diaz. Some people said the Nate Diaz, some guy that sparred with Nate said, I don't know, he's not moving real good at this extra weight. I don't think it's going to go good. But this
I,
is Nate
I,
Diaz.
yeah, I read that. I saw the guy talk. The guy's 30-0, and gonna fight for the WBC title, I guess. He's I think he's an Olympian. He's a silver medalist, I think.
Yeah, silver
And
medalist.
yeah, he wasn't talking too great about Nate, but we don't see the round, so we don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's 30-0, so obviously Nate's still early in his camp, also, and but then you hear Nate's homies, the way they tell it, it's a whole different story. So who knows who's telling the truth? One thing we do know is Nate is probably the underdog because he's the smaller of the two. Nate hasn't been boxing for a while. It takes a little while to get your boxing legs back versus the MMA legs that Nate can do. It's easier for Nate to go to MMA than it is boxing because he hasn't really boxed per se. Even though he boxed, he used to be Andre Ward's one of Andre Ward's. Him and his brother used to be sparring partners for Andre Ward, and anybody knows Andre Ward, was one of the only undefeated fighters of all time that retired. Beating everybody. Andre Ward beat everybody.
Yeah.
So that was the main sparring partner for Nate Diaz. So don't go telling me he can't box. If he couldn't box, yeah, Andre Ward's going to spend time with you because why? You're his friend? I don't think so.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Andre
He
Ward.
doesn't need you unless you're adding to
No.
his sparring. You're not upping his game. He doesn't
Yeah.
need. He can just pull anybody from the bus stop. Hey, you guys want to spar today? Get on in.
Yeah. If you don't have any value, you don't have any value. Andre Ward ain't sparring you. So Nate Diaz obviously has a tremendous value because he was boxing with him for many years. Many years. Andre Ward used to even come to my gym to spar some of my guys. So he was in all fairness, when I saw him, I said, "Damn, this is the best boxer I've ever seen in person." In my eyes, this is when he was an Olympian. He just won the Olympics, and he came into my gym, and I watched him. I said, "Wow, this guy is so dedicated, so talented." And I was thinking that his coach didn't have anything to do with it because his coach wasn't really doing nothing in my gym. He was just hanging around talking, and Andre was just working. But as time went on, I watched his coach, and I realized how wrong I was. His coach already had trained him so well that Andre was like on auto control, right? Boom, here
Yeah.
you go. Your routine. I don't need. And his coach trained him so well. So I was, and I told myself, "Oops, there you go for prejudging." So I'm like, his coach is a great coach. That's why Andre was also a great fighter, but his coach really did help. But the Diaz brothers are legit in boxing. Now, if they weren't, Andre Ward would have never sparred with those guys. They would have been like
just
one of
needs a
those.
warm up.
Yeah, he would have never sparred with them, but they were regular sparring partners of Andre Ward.
Well, did you ever read the book Fighting? It was about MMA and boxing. It was across. This guy Sam Sheridan wrote it, and
No.
he wrote a lot about MMA. Traveled to a few gyms, did some kickboxing, but he also traveled to come hang out with Andre Ward. So I learned a lot about him there. But Andre used to shop at Tony's Casera store all the time too. So
Right.
It's like you always know somebody that knows Andre Ward. At least I do. Between you and Tony and whatever. But
yeah, I don't really know him. I mean, he's been in my gym, but I don't really know him.
No. Like hang out all the time, not necessarily. No.
No, I never hung out with him. No, he came in my gym more than a few times, quite a few times, but I don't know him. I've never spoken to him. It was through my other boxing coaches that he was in my gym, not through me.
Another fight I did see the other day was unfortunately for Arjan Bular, who's a great guy who I interviewed somewhere on this channel. He was a one champion, and he lost to this huge Russian dude. Did you see that fight?
No, I didn't even know what was happening. I should have known because I liked Arjan's post and where he's talking about fighting the guy, but I didn't look at the date. Then someone said, "Oh, did you hear Arjan lost?" I went, it sucks."
Yeah.
And I guess this Russian guy must be. The guy had to be a pretty good damn wrestler.
They didn't even get to wrestle. The guy was just such a block of rock. You're like, you try to grab him, and it's like, okay, it doesn't work. You try again, it wouldn't work. I mean, the guy has probably a Russian base in wrestling, which is fantastic to begin with. And his boxing, he was going to the gut. I mean, he was going to the body hard all throughout the whole thing. I mean, power punches, man. So, I mean, Arjan wasn't super busted up, but he did get overwhelmed by this guy. I mean, it's like,
how long did the fight go?
I think a couple rounds. I got to look back. It's on YouTube. I'll try to find it and send it to you. But I'll tell you what. I mean,
no, I don't want to watch it. I don't.
No, you don't like to see.
I don't like seeing my guys get hurt.
I understand.
My guy. I run.
I like him too a lot. So hopefully he makes a comeback.
He makes a comeback, or he heals from it and he moves on into an avenue. He's a smart guy, very smart guy, and he became a world champ. You can never take that away from him. So he's a world champion. So it's good for him.
Well, it's also he had such a long layoff because of COVID and everything, like 3 years. I mean, you don't usually.
It was the COVID and contract negotiations and stuff. Was it
something like that? Like 2 or 3 year inactivity. So that'll do that to you.
It's a long time.
You do that to anybody, take them off the rhythm, huh? It won't be good.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's a long time.
Well, that's good. Well, it was a great podcast today, Hav. Thanks for
short one. Yeah,
it's good. That's all they need is short ones. You guys don't
Short
get long
one.
ones until you listen to the whole thing.
All right,
Okay,
man.
buddy. Bye.
Take care. Bye.